Wagwan peeps, it's Venom, what you saying? Alongside my home slice, Dammy to the Zane. When she and I get together on the poddy, ask anybody, the vibes are insane.
Join our family and feel free to come by. We on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Yeah.
New drop on the way every Monday at 6.
Tune in and come see what we unpick. Wagwan people, it's your boy Venom in the building alongside my co-host, the one and only Dammy to the Zane.
Hey, hello, hi. What's good, peeps?
You done know.
Yeah.
This is the Unpicked podcast. If you're unfamiliar, get to know, like, subscribe, leave a comment. We love all of that. And if you're returning, thank you very much. Your family, we appreciate the comments even when you disagree with us. Keep it coming.
Yup.
Today, we got some, some topics for you.
Guys, we're sorry that we didn't get an episode out to you last week. Let me tell you a quick story time.
Jeez.
Real quick. It was actually my fault, guys. So we did record an episode for you, and it was a juicy one still.
It was kind of juicy.
It was very juicy. Like we did an episode about Kevin Samuel's passing, innit? And I know a lot of you would want to hear what we had to say. And even I was excited to get it out. Recorded for 2 hours, 30 minutes or something crazy like that, as we do. We just chop it down for you lot, yeah? And then we were like, yeah, see you next week. Yeah, bye, Dammy, bye, Venom, peace, all that good stuff. I'll let you know when it's up, blah, blah, call, admin, whatever. Come to edit now and tell me why there was no sound. No sound.
No sound at all.
At all. You just see my pretty face. You could hear Venom. But my side of things, no sound, no audio. And Venom and I, we have lives. Sometimes when stuff happens, we can re-record. But this one, we couldn't re-record. So unfortunately, we just had to go without. But yeah, we're really sorry that we missed out. We were going on a really good streak. Every week
so good.
giving you
It's
content.
So good.
But it's cool now, okay? So yeah, just had to address that because, yeah, I know some people were hollering like, where's the episode? But yeah.
Wagwan, yeah.
Wagwan,
no, we hear this. We're here for you. Technical difficulties happen. Sometimes it cannot be helped. So we're just doing the best that we can. And you know what I mean? Onwards and upwards.
And trust me, all week I've been in a funk, I've been in a funk.
You cannot let it get you down. Peter can never be down.
Peter can never be down. He must always be up.
Amen.
Yes.
You like Peter?
I was just really disappointed because that episode was juicy. But you know what, yeah? To be fair, guys, I'll give you a little hint. Kevin Samuel's spirit protected him that day because what I said, let's put it that way.
Well, you already know I'm Team Kevin, so
yeah, guys, that's the reason. Now you know. Now we can move forward.
Indeed.
And speaking of going forward, we're actually going to go on a break, guys. I know, sad face. We are ending, I guess, season 1.
Yeah, the first vibe.
The first vibe, installment 1. So this will be our last episode and we're going to go on a mini break and we'll be back on the 13th of June. Yeah, 13th of June, guys. So, yeah, this episode will be a bit longer to make up for last week, but we will be back. Don't worry. Back on your
Bigger
screens.
than ever.
Absolutely.
Better than ever.
Now,
new tunes. New verse from Dammy.
New segments. Not new verse from Dammy. You tried it.
She was like, yeah, no.
Let me let him say what he's got to say. I'm going to come back to that. But yeah.
So we're going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
A little bit of that. Yeah, let's go. Who's doing it this week? Who's doing it this week?
If you got one, you know what I mean. I got something.
I got something as well. Should we do both? Because then it's like a little special, seeing as last week's ones.
Okay.
Okay. So how okay, cool. How do you want to do this?
Ladies first, always.
Okay. All right.
I've been a gentleman.
All right. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Okay, cool. So, Marvel characters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge Marvel fan. So my this or that is about that, really. Okay.
Okay.
The question is, who's the most powerful character? It could be strength or actual power. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Vision versus Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Doctor Strange.
Okay. Thor versus Hulk.
Thor.
Okay, this last one, I don't even want to give it to you.
You took a deep breath. Wait, you took a deep breath on my Thor. Was that in anticipation for your next question, or was it because of my answer?
No, it's because I know the next one's easy. Because it's this one. Okay, the Scarlet Witch / Wanda Maximoff versus Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, it's Wanda, isn't it?
Wanda.
Yeah.
My G.
That one was too easy.
That one's too easy. Okay, how about, Captain America?
Yeah.
Or Iron Man?
Iron Man.
Okay.
Iron Man.
And my final one, Hawkeye. Or
Hawkeye's dead. Or the Black Panther.
The Black Panther.
You could have put the Black Panther against anybody, and that whole roster, I would always pick the Black Panther.
Really? As the most powerful? Is it because Wakanda forever?
It's because
it's Wakanda
forever.
Forever, my G. Forever.
I have watched from the mountain.
Trust me.
Yeah.
If I wasn't Nigerian, I'd be from Wakanda. Period.
I was wondering where this was going. I was like, what?
Where's she going with this? Yeah, if I wasn't Nigerian, I'd be Wakandan.
That film was so special, man.
Period.
So damn it to the Zane. All you gotta do is choose which is actually I'll frame it how you framed it. How about that? So we're creating a capsule to send into the future to preserve the loving memory of the one they call Kendrick Lamar.
Ooh,
AKA Kung Fu Kenny.
I got a music
AKA Oklahoma.
Okay, yay! Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
All you have to do is put one of his songs from this selection into the time capsule to best represent this man and his work, or your feelings towards this man and his work.
Okay.
That you would like to send on into the future. So
okay.
You have Don't Kill My Vibe or Humble.
It's gonna have to be I Am a Sinner. He's probably gonna sin again. God forgive me. God forgive me. Things I don't understand. Let me stop myself because I'll sing the whole song.
You know, vibes. That's memories. Okay, cool.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah.
Next one is Loyalty or Poetic Justice.
Okay, no, actually, Poetic Justice.
Oh, I know why you did that. Yuck. Anyway.
They're both good songs, but I had to pick one, so...
It's only the reason that I'm saying yuck to you. I love Ken. Okay. Is that... All right, last one. I feel like this one's kind of easy, but not necessarily. Depends how you vibe.
Okay. Okay.
All Right.
Okay.
Or King Kunta. Because technically, this could either be really easy or, depending on how you vibe, it's very difficult. It just depends how you vibe.
All right.
Okay. So we had Don't Kill My Vibe, Poetic Justice, and We Gonna Be Alright.
That's right. You see that? We Gonna Be Alright, yeah?
Gonna be alright. Do you know what it is?
As soon as I hear that first line, it's like my chest puffs up. Like, yeah, actually, all my life, I has to fight. Listen, I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be all right. It just gasses me up.
The track is a big deal.
Yo.
But you know what it is about that King Kunta song, yeah? I never really like it in the beginning, but it's like an introduction to the album moment.
Yeah.
But then, you know, when he goes, by the time you hear the second pop, the funk shall be within you. Legit, once the second pop, I'm in that song differently. And I'm not even a fan up until that point. And I'm like,
I hear it, but you see, all right, yeah. That song can lift anyone out of a funk. So we got a new segment for you guys. It's called What's Hot. This is a segment that we're actually going to carry on in every episode, okay? It's not one we're introducing that will just vanish. It's here to stay, okay? So let's get into it. Have you watched Doctor Strange?
I have indeed.
Okay.
Watched Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
That's right. We're not going to give no spoilers, guys. But if you haven't watched it by now.
I don't know yeah, okay. I'm going to try not to spoil it. We'll yeah. I'll try my best not to
Do you see this face? It's not impressed. Because by the time this episode comes out, at the time that you're watching it, it's been 3 weeks.
For sure.
Yeah, about two weeks.
2 and a bit.
2 and a bit weeks, and you still ain't watch it. I don't know, boy. But we're gonna try and spare you any spoilers just in case.
Any spoiler detail.
But what did you think of it, though?
So I took my dad to see it. I've been going to cinema with my dad randomly.
That's
recently.
Cute. That's cute.
And I took him to see this. He's a critic. He won't let them things slide. And so by nature of me going with him, I had to pick up on all of the details for the later conversations. So I thought it was a good film, but I definitely thought like there was some silly bits in there. Or not silly bits, but like there were some things that were handled a little bit like childishly. And
but that's
I also expected a bit more madness as well.
More madness?
Yeah, I expected a lot more madness.
See, I was there every 5 minutes, Jesus Christ, because it was too much for me. It was too much.
Really?
Yeah. Venom, at the end of the movie, obviously after watching the 2 little clips at the end.
Yeah.
People watched 1 and left. I said, these are amateurs. Amateurs. Stayed for the 2 clips at the end. And then I was like, yeah, I'm going to go home and pray.
Mad.
I'm going to go home and pray. Because my spirit was like, there's definitely something demonic going on here. And I should have expected it. Because Wanda's a witch.
She's definitely a witch.
And Doctor Strange is a sorcerer. So I should have clocked that there was going to be some...
Maybe a little bit.
Just a little sound that, you know, if you're faithful, if you've got faith, you might not be comfortable with. But I mean, I still sat there. At the end, I said, I'm going home to pray because I can't have... There were certain things that were made reference to that just didn't sit right with my spirit. So I said, when I get home, I'm going to... But I was with my friend and she was laughing. She's a Christian too. She was laughing. It was getting to certain bits and I was like, Jesus Christ. And she was like, no, damn, you're cracking me up. I was like, nah, this is, I was like, everything.
Really?
Yeah.
I definitely thought it was like really soft core, you know?
Nah, I'm not saying it was scary.
No. I mean, like
it was moderate horror. They called it 12A moderate horror, right? So it was a bit dark for Marvel. Marvel's been moving into this dark space, especially over the last 2 years in the pandemic. If you've got Disney Plus and you've watched What If, you would have noticed it's gotten a bit dark.
Yeah, love What If, man.
Yeah, even WandaVision, you could tell it was do you know what I mean? Like, it's been moving into this area, right? That is a bit more than just action movie, comic action movie. And it's a different dark to DC. DC's always been dark in terms of like, even down to the lighting and the production of it is always dark. But Marvel's dark is more in the mind and a bit more horrific, whereas DC, it's just literally the vibe is it's not bright. It seems like it's nighttime the whole way through the movie.
Or everyone's story, it's always night.
It's always nighttime. Even in the day, it's cloudy. Like
it's always grey.
It's grey.
The sun does not shine in the DC universe.
Shine in the DC universe. Okay,
at all.
But it does in Marvel movies. And even if we was to go back to Spider-Man, because that was the last movie. Yeah, it's the last movie.
The newest Spider-Man.
The newest Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That had a bit of, it was like night and day in the same movie. There was still sunshine. But maybe because that's Spider-Man, innit? He's more of a upbeat character.
He's your friendly neighborhood
He's your
guy.
friendly, like, man like John that lives next door. Like that. Whereas Doctor Strange does have a bit of, I mean, it's in the name, he's strange. Yeah, so I kind of knew it was moving into this direction because when I watched the What If and I watched Doctor Strange's episode of What If.
That was dark.
That was very dark. So I kind of expected the movie. Yeah, I mean, so did I. I was like, I like it. But the movie, I can't lie. I said, me and the Lord have to have a conversation after this movie because I just need to make sure that we're cool.
He has not disowned me because I've watched this. I didn't think it was that deep. I'm not even going to lie. I really didn't.
What? There was reference to Illuminati. There was reference to Third Eye. Communicating through mirrors.
Yeah.
Nah, it was very spiritual. In the demonic way. And yes, I was reciting scripture during watching the movie, and when I went home, I read my Bible and I prayed heavy so that I could sleep properly that night. I said, none of that is following me. No.
All I can say is I'm glad that you watched the Disney version, because had I have been in the director's seat, that thing would have been 10 times darker. But when I said more madness, it would have been both. It would have been both darker in terms of like how they were doing the magic and the witchcraft, etc. And then also, basically, you know, Inception. How it was like layers and a dream within a dream.
Yeah.
I thought that the madness could have been.
Yeah, it could definitely
had that kind of vibe.
We could have seen more. We could have seen more multiverses. There was only one scene where they kind of fell into loads, but it didn't. There was more scope for that. Definitely, I'm more talking about the demonic references. The almost occult references, like looking into your third eye and all that business. Which totally goes against my faith, right? So I'm more talking about that. But if we were to talk about like the madness side of things and like the mind F bit, like definitely there was more scope for that.
But 100%, it needed to have more like that film for me to be successful. I needed to walk out not understanding what happened because there was madness. Like I need
that's what you wanted
madness.
Of madness.
Yeah, I need to be like, wait, what? How? And then I need to be like, you know what I mean?
I think they did just enough. What did you think about what we know is gonna happen to Doctor Strange? Or what happened to Doctor Strange? If you watch the clips, you know what I'm
saying. I'm looking forward to it. I like where it's going. I was hoping something different was happening, to be honest. Because, so again, where I didn't see a trailer, but had seen clips and knew that like the evil Doctor Strange was in this film.
I don't know if it's the same one though.
It's not. But I was hoping it was the like Doctor Strange.
I was hoping it was going to be the What If one.
That is what excited me the most. So when I didn't get that, that's why I was like, we didn't.
Yeah,
so
I feel the same way.
That's where it was going at the end.
Yeah.
And then I was like, when then I saw the end clip, I was like,
Yeah.
oh no, it's not going there. It's going there. Cool.
Yeah.
So
I was a bit.
yeah.
It was a bit anticlimactic for me.
Yeah.
Seeing that ending bit, because I really wanted him to. I want him to go dark.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I want him to go dark.
After seeing that, what if? There's nothing that I want more. Yeah.
Do you know what my cinema did? There was no adverts.
Oh, just straight in.
Yeah. So we went late at night as well. Again, Dammy, use your head. You heard it was scary and you went late at night. 3D viewing. Anyway, so I'm just thinking about it now. Like, what was you thinking? At least
you just set yourself up for...
At least daytime. Anyway, so we've got our popcorn, we've got our slushy. You know, you can't go to cinema and not get a slushy. Tango slushy, mix that up, different flavors. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're sitting there. I'm like, I'm gonna finish this thing before the adverts even come on. Bear waiting. Everyone was like, "Where's the adverts?" People were even walking out, coming back in. Like, wow, like, did we get the time right? Where's the adverts? Next thing you know, darkness, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, 12A rating, moderate horror. I was like, whoa. They didn't even give us, and then that told me we're about to get some fuckery. That's what that told me. I was like, it's about to. I literally was like, okay, tell me you're here now. This is, and I'm mad dramatic. You know me, I'm mad dramatic. I was like, right, this is it. And my friend was laughing at me. She's like, it's not that deep. I was like, it's deep. You didn't even get adverts, bruh. It's about to.
I definitely did not see the part where it said moderate horror. Like, I don't know how I missed that. Because
there was no adverts. I had no choice but to see it. I said moderate. But what gave me a little bit of like assurance was the fact that it was 12A. I was like, if it's that bad, it would not be 12A. But yeah.
12 and accompanied by adult. Like,
I'm a chicken. Because me, I don't do horror movie. I don't do horror movie.
No, we gotta do the classics then. We gotta do the classics.
I will never
run you through there.
I'm not going to join you in any of that.
Yeah, no.
Let me tell you something. I'm a Nigerian that doesn't even watch. You know when you start seeing like when those Nollywood movies with like sorcery, black magic.
Yeah. No, we gotta do it now. We gotta do it. We've got to do it. I've already read all the comments that the viewers have to write. Thank you for writing them, by the way. And they all said that they want to see you watch a few horror films, like kind of reaction style. Like, we'll just watch it together and see how you're receiving. Which
comments are these? Because I ain't seen no comments.
I read them. They're all there. Thank you, by the way, again. Yeah. So yeah, we'll do it. We'll make it happen. Don't worry.
I can see that one that's got into his head because there's absolutely no way. Absolutely not.
We will see this big chicken online.
Not in this universe. Not in the next universe.
I will find Dammy from the verse where it happens and we'll make it happen. Don't worry.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna think of what films we're gonna watch that. That's gonna be fun.
You'll be watching that on your own, by yourself, yo. Nah. But anyway, guys, let us know what you thought of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness in the comments.
So the next one was the biggest album release of the year so far, arguably.
I'll give it that.
Mr. Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, Kendrick. How did you feel about it?
Boy, I don't even know if I should go first. I mean, I'm elated. I was elated by just the hot
Everyone's been
vibes.
waiting. Everyone's been waiting.
That's my guy.
Waiting. Yeah, man.
Ken is I'm the biggest Kanye stan, but Ken over Kanye, like, each and every time. Every time. Swear. Because it's just...
I didn't know that was possible. Because, I mean...
Oh, no. The art form is just ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I'm trying to be careful what I say about this Kendrick album because I know that I've listened to it once and I'm not hyped about it. And I'm going to need to give myself more time to get into it before I can truly say if I like it or not. Yeah, definitely. It's a good album. So for me to say it's good and not trash from the beginning, it only means the more I hear it, the more I'm going to be gassed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the reason why for me I'm struggling is because the best album that I think that Kendrick ever did was Good Kid, Mad City. And I feel like every album he's done since then, to me, is not.
Really?
It just doesn't hit. Like,
see, I'm the other way around. I think Good Kid, Mad City was definitely like amazing. Because Section 80, I was like, Section 80 I liked, but I was in between. I liked it, but I didn't know him yet. Good Kid, Mad City come out. I was like, damn, that's when I learned how to drive. So I was driving around all summer, me and my sister playing Good Kid, Mad City. Just good vibes, good memories, all of that.
Good vibes.
To Pimp a Butterfly. Shizen, boy. I woke up at 2:30 or 3 something the day that it came out. I don't even think I knew. I think I just woke up. You know, there was a time in my life when I used to wake up, and if I woke up, I'll reach for the smartphone and just check the notification, check whatever, and that happened to be that time. So I checked and I was like, new Kendrick. I sat up and just pressed play. I had work the next day, you know. I said, I don't care. I sat up, pressed play.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and them times actually, I was even broke. So I had free Spotify. So I don't even know if I listened to it in the right order. Because when you had the free Spotify, you play the album, but it just give it to you how it gives it to you.
With adverts in between.
I listened to that thing. I was like, that was incredible. Like the jazz of it. Like I love Good Kid, Mad City, bangers, but the jazz, I'm here for art, innit? I think there's a lot of people that make good music, that's good beats or good commercial vibes or whatever. So I don't really rate people that do that, because there's loads of that. So I'm like, whoever gives me something different, that's what I'm talking. And he gave me like top quality different.
But he does that he does that in every album. But I just feel like, you know, when you've got an emotional tie to something, Good Kid, Mad City, there's an emotional tie, and every time I hear a song on that album, it takes me back to that time. And life was, I mean, life's great now, don't get me wrong, but I remember the first time I heard it, I remember how I felt. I remember how I felt every time I heard that album, and no matter how much time goes by, I hear it again, it takes me back there. And I've not felt that feeling with any other album he's done. And I hear that. And I totally understand that. And I think that's the reason why this album,
I understand.
I was waiting for it. I was excited. I knew I was going to get great music. I knew I was going to get a fantastic album. And remember, Kendrick tells a story. His albums have a story running through it. It's not like Drake doesn't do that. Drake just tries to aim for bangers, club bangers, basically.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't, there's no narrative throughout the whole piece of the whole body of work. I enjoy bodies of work. That's why Beyonce, I mean, I don't idolize anybody, because, you know, I'm a Christian and that. But Beyonce's albums, I love them because it's a body of work collectively. Each song, banger, but collectively, it's still a body of work. And Kendrick is the same with his music. So I knew it was going to be fantastic, but it just didn't take me to there. And I shouldn't be comparing albums, but Good Kid, Mad City, that album, top notch. I feel like I'm going to be 100. By God's grace, I lived to that age, and I'll hear the album and I'll have the same feeling. I'll be like, no, this album was this album was mwah.
I definitely hear you, because Good Kid, Mad City, I have nothing but good memories. That was a very sweet spot part of life. But and To Pimp a Butterfly was probably arguably one of my lowest periods. In this album, he really pushed his conversation, his narratives further along. Like there's even a track on that album that I think that I've never thought this before, and I think it's through doing this podcast and having heard you say, oh yeah, you know, this is a trigger warning for da 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 da. This track started, I was like, this track itself needs a trigger warning. This track, wow, because I started listening to this thing 7:30 in the morning on my way to work. I was not ready for what was about to hear. This was not the start of my day. I said, wow. This is where I am.
One thing I will say though is that album definitely had the whole story of the album is about doing better and his growth as a man. And I definitely got that from the album. And maybe that's where the disconnect could be for me, because I'm not a black man, clearly. And so I don't have that connection to it, maybe. I don't know. I have to listen to it again and see how I feel. But that was basically the story. I do know that, I mean, here I am with Twitter. Some people from the LGBTQ community were very upset with Kendrick because of a certain word that he used that I will not repeat, because I think the word is a bad word. And obviously the context of the words that he used in the song was to say, that's how I used to think, but I've grown and I've moved away from that. Cool. But the message, some people felt that, okay, it's not great, but if you listen to the context, get it. Some were like, yeah, you can give us the context without using the words, Kendrick. So yes, it was a bit mixed reviews on the socials on the album. But that's not my feeling. My feeling is more, I get the message. Fine, maybe he didn't have to use that word, but the whole body of work in its entirety, I understand what he was trying to get across. The idea of growth, the idea of becoming a better person, the idea of like having being small-minded and then not being small-minded, like going through that process. And I think he did convey that very well. I just need to go back and listen to it again to see if I get that emotional. Because when I listen to music, I need to feel, I don't know how to explain it, like it's a bit geeky, but I have to,
you, man.
I need to feel it in here, and I don't get that with this album, not yet.
Yeah, I just had it on repeat. I just played it. On the first day, I probably listened to it about 6 times.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow, like I still haven't even listened to it, if you know what I mean. I'm still like on the surface. I've still not
you need to break it down.
Into it.
And I need to do that. I reckon if I listen to it another 3 times, I'll be like, okay, so maybe I need to check back on this one. But yeah. Yeah.
We'll do like a Kendrick re-review 3 months later. What we say?
Do you know what, guys? If you want to hear, I mean, Venom is a producer. I'm just a very big, like, music is my life. I'm not a producer or anything like that. Yeah, I can sing a little bit. Yeah, I can rap a little bit, but it's not, I'm not an artiste in that way, but I'm good with music reviews. If you want to hear us talk about more artists and more albums and stuff like that, let us know, because that's something we could definitely get into. Like, this podcast could be a music podcast real quick, okay? I don't think you understand, okay? So just let us know. All right, guys. So I guess that takes us to the hot topics. Unpick. What you got for me, Venom? What hot topic do you want to unpick this week?
So the hot topic, not the main topic, the hot topic that I would like to bring to the table is for my bald man them out there. Finally, liberation is now a sexual assault to call a bald man bald.
I just want to know, because as for me, I don't get it. And I'm going to continue to call men who have no hair on their head. I'm going to continue to call them bald. Yeah, I said it. Venom.
I'm gonna clip that, you know. These will be some famous words.
I'm gonna keep it in too, because I ain't scared. I ain't scared.
Keep it in.
I ain't scared.
Insensitive.
I want to know how calling someone what they actually are is sexual harassment.
It is sexual harassment.
How?
Because you're now describing my whole head. As bald.
Wait.
Are you crazy?
Wait. Hold on. Is your head bald?
It is bald.
Okay. So me stating a fact.
So if I now...
Relax. Calm down.
If I now see a woman with a lump and I comment on her lump and it is fact, is it not sexual harassment?
Technically, that's subjective.
What's subjective?
Technically, it's subjective.
What's subject? What part?
A woman having a big bum or big boobs, that's subjective. What is big to one might not be. What is big to one might not be big to another.
Subjective.
I am really
lying for your own teeth.
I'm reaching. I know I'm
fully. You know what's his name? From the Fantastic Four, boy.
Yeah,
You are stretching. My God. Anyway.
No. Hear me out. Yeah.
I'll let you land.
But when I'm calling, like, for example, if I say that you're bald, yeah, you are bald. I'm not making a sexual advance at you. I'm not doing it in a sexual way. I'm just saying that you're bald.
No, but my baldness is sexy. And so you stating that fact is an advance and is rude. It's harassment, in fact.
It's not
sexual. So behave yourself, please.
There is absolutely no way that
and the BALD community we do not like it.
Can you pause 1 second? Yeah, relax. because I'm definitely not making a sexual advance at you. Absolutely not. And you know it. So if I'm like, Venom, you are bold, yeah? You are bold, yeah?
Yes.
That's me telling you a fact. I'm not making no sexual advance.
Harassment.
Venom, you are bold.
You should not be talking about my head like that.
If it was like
talking about my head like that.
If it was
inappropriate.
If I was like,
inappropriate.
It's not. It's what it is.
It is when we are on this podcast, I'm not discussing other parts of your body, so you should be doing the same to me.
The court said that that they're saying that they're saying that boldness affects men predominantly. So if you say that if you say to a man that he's bold, that's why it's sexual harassment, because out of the two sexes, it affects men more than women. Yeah. That's the reason. Not that it's actually sexual harassment. It's just the basis of it is because it mainly affects men.
Happens to men, yeah. Hey.
The thing that they should make sexual harassment is girls talking about men's beard, because that one,
I mean, you're just adding to the list.
It's not there yet, but
we will get our protection, the protection that we duly deserve from these women just out here sexually abusing us. You lot just want to try and say you're oppressed the same way that we are. You just want to take away from our oppression by saying you lot are oppressed the same way. Calling a man bold is nowhere near the same level as the sexual harassment that women actually experience. So I'm just compare them.
There's no comparison. It can't be compared. It cannot be compared.
They're not comparable.
That's what I'm saying to you. It cannot be compared.
A sin is a sin. That's the vibe.
There's sin and there's sin. In this sexual harassment thing, yeah. No, there is.
No. In the Bible, there's one thing that I know.
All right. Yeah, that's in the Bible.
Sin is a sin.
All right, but there's sexual harassment and there's sexual harassment in it. There's calling a man bold, and then there's...
there's sexual harassment. That's it. That's all.
There's calling a man bold and there's slapping a girl's ass unprovoked.
There's
calling a man bold and sending a girl a dick pic unsolicited. There's calling a man... Come on. There's a hierarchy.
I'm saying, that any woman that calls a man bold from this day forth needs to go on an offenders list. It needs to happen.
Venom.
That same list you was talking about.
Venom.
And Claire's law, there needs to be Venom's law. I need to know how many women in this area call a man bold.
Venom. You are bold, and we're going to move on. The second...
You're going to get yourself cancelled. I
will not get cancelled.
Do you know what? Now,
no.
They will be using this video of you as case study in school.
Can you imagine?
And this is...
I have to write a statement. Oh, back then... I was young back then. You know that one's there. I'm so sorry. I've changed. I take full accountability for what I said. I didn't mean no harm. Blah, blah, blah.
Like that anymore.
Don't feel like that anymore. I'm so sorry. That was when I was young and dumb.
I've spoken to people from the BALD community.
And I fully support them. And all proceeds that we've made from that video, I will be putting to...
Wow.
The BALD awareness campaign.
Wow. Spit Shine Anonymous.
I'm laughing about it, but can you imagine?
When I tell you, it's going to be you, it's not going to be me. I will still be bored. It will be you face, front and center of the case study.
That is hilarious.
Dami Zayn.
That is hilarious.
You'll be the first woman ever to be put on a sexual harassment list.
Not the first one. No,
for... actually, you'll be the second.
No, there'll be better of us. There'll be better of us.
The next.
There'll be better of us.
No, but you can't. I don't believe you can retrospectively charge people for crimes based on when the law is made. But you are committing the crime after the law has been made.
The law's been made for a good week, bruv. I'm sure other girls have been calling men bold, just like you.
It will be added to the list.
Bruv, add me to the list. And I'll deal with my apology in the future when I'm no longer young and dumb. That's when I'll...
Future dummy is going to be fuming, and the whole speech
I won't be fuming. I won't be fuming because I'll be like, no, but I believe... I didn't... At the time, that's what I believed.
I've got bold friends. It's not like that.
Does it affect you lot? My husband's bold.
Even my baby is bold.
My baby is bold. My podcast co-host, maybe radio co-host at that point, he's bold.
He's bold. I know bold people like
and that. Therefore, I'm not boldest. I'm not boldest.
So
I'm not boldest. I promise you I'm not boldest because
it will be a time.
My husband is bold.
Next.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oldest.
Can you imagine?
Mm.
Wild. Anyway, the next hot topic I wanted to unpick was SPAC Nation.
Hey. Back at it again.
Offending in Fendi.
Oh, is that the tagline?
Offending in
Once the Toby
Fendi.
yeah,
Yeah.
he came out with that one.
Show your drip, show your drip. Let's start with the more serious thing. Trigger warning, guys. The TikTok page that got outed, it's now been blocked indefinitely by TikTok. Where they were inviting young girls age, I think 13 to 16 to a brunch so that they can go to their trap house or whatever they call it, to stay actually.
Oh, overnight.
Yeah, to stay. They basically tried to recruit them to live there, and grown man lived there and everything. So people were really concerned that why are you only approaching young girls first and foremost, and you're inviting them into a space where there's grown men. What is your intent there? I don't know much else about it because there's not much that's been said, but people are speculating.
Yeah.
And there's probably going to be a lot of people that are affected by this, so I do want to broach this topic with caution. But I wanted to know what your thoughts were about that.
So again, I looked at that. I saw that on the socials, and I think because I don't go to SPAC or know people personally that go to SPAC, I don't want to judge them with the brush that everyone paints them with, if you understand what I mean. But my main concern was that I don't think any adults should be reaching out to children for anything social without full consent and knowledge from the parents. First and foremost. So that was just an alarm bell for me in terms of how you're going about doing what you're doing. Not that you necessarily have ill intent, but you have to do things in the right way, especially now that, society is the way it is, because you're not even, as adults, those ladies inviting those kids, they're not protecting themselves should anything happen. So I was just like, yeah, that doesn't make sense no matter which way you slice it. But then when you go on to the fact that, oh yeah, men live in these houses, I'm saying if I'm a dad and I find out that my child has been, it doesn't, like, at this point, it really doesn't matter what's gone on. I'm going to that house and the whole house is coming down.
I feel like we don't know the ins and outs of it. We only know what was exposed on the TikTok video. And I think no matter how you slice it, the information we've been given is enough to
it's damning.
It's enough to place judgment on them. SPAC Nation already have a bad rep anyway for how they treat people in these, what they call trap houses or whatever. And then there was the whole fraud thing that was going on there and people questioning Pastor Toby's actions and the way that they do things there. So they've already got a bad rep, and then to add this on top, it just doesn't look good. And even if they didn't have a bad rep before, those videos alone exposing this brunch thing that they're doing for young children, all in the name of, I don't even know what the intent is behind it, but from the receipts that were shown in the video, it's enough for me to be like, yeah, that whole organization needs to be shut down. Or investigated in a lot more detail.
They've been investigated. There was a whole
they've been investigated bare times and they're still running. So it's
because they found no substantial evidence against them.
Yeah. It's just a bit worrying, isn't it? Like, especially this one, when it comes to children, I'm very protective, and I feel like from what we have seen, it's enough to place judgment against them, unless parents start coming out saying, yeah, actually, no, we gave consent and there was a whole thing about it. Like, they contacted us, they asked us, whatever. We were able to, like, unless all of that comes out, for now, based on what we've seen, it's enough for people to pass judgment. Another thing that came out around the same time was, what's this Pastor Bookie's so-called MTV Crib style, check what's in my wardrobe.
Yeah.
I was trying to think, what is the motive behind the video? If you're saying that you're a pastor, like, what is it? Was it that you're trying to say that if you are prayerful or whatever, if you tithe, this is what you'll get? Or like, what was the motivation? What was you trying to prove? And it definitely wasn't from a Christian perspective. It was just a let me show off, and I can't rate it.
Yeah, it's tricky, man. I mean, that whole SPAC Nation thing, I don't even know what they changed their name to. They changed their name, you know? But the whole SPAC Nation thing is like a double edge for me, because on the one hand, and this is part of the reason why I'm not or no longer Catholic or Christian, etc., is because I just felt a disconnect with the faith personally. And I found a lot more, I found my connection, I found elsewhere without going into it. But
one day we will.
We could go to, yeah. But with them, I'm like, I see the motivation of being avant-garde, trying to approach the demographic with things that the demographic enjoys, and trying to use that as a gear or a device or a motivation to then spiral their whole nation into a successful position. But I do also just see that it just directly contradicts what's written in the book that you're using as your device. So it just doesn't make sense. Maybe make up a religion or use a different religion where this doesn't directly contradict what the belief system says.
Yeah, I think what happens to a lot of these churches, let me rephrase that. What happens to some churches is they might start off with good intention in that they want to spread the word, they want to evangelize, they want to save lives. That's what the Bible says we're here to do. My life is supposed to show God's glory, and it's supposed to bring other people to God. They're meant to look at me and be like, rah, I can see what God has done for Dami, and that's going to draw me close to God. I'm going to seek God for that. And then I'm supposed to actively also try and spread God's word and get people to see the truth and all that. So they might have good intention, cool, in the beginning. But when it starts moving into, it's all about money, show your drip, offended in Fendi, all that stuff, and it starts moving into very materialistic spaces, you start moving away from what the word says. And that's where there's a problem. And when you look at a lot of cults that derive from Christian faith, that's what's happened. So they either go down the communist route or they go down the materialistic route, the money, and then this is where you see pastors boasting about how they've got private jets, boasting about the trainers they wear, boasting about the watches they have, boasting about the size of their house, and they make Christianity transactional. They make it into, I tithe, I put money in, and this is what I get out of it. Or in Africa, you get churches that are like, if you give me money, I will pray for you. If you give us money, God will answer your prayers. The amount of money that you put in will equal
directly,
the amount of it will equal or directly impact the glory or what you get from God. But that's not, the relationship's not supposed to be transactional. And I feel like when you're spiritually wise in the faith, you come to learn that there's nothing you can give God that's ever going to, do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't work that way. God gives you what he gives you, does what he does out of his own grace, not because of anything that you can do on this earth or give him. Period. And everything that you get is because of what he's already promised you in the Bible, in the word. He's already said what he's ready to give you. That's all you're going to be able to tap into. Anything else, it turns into witchcraft or whole superstition, but that's not what it's about, right? And people misconstrue that. But again, it's all about your wisdom and how much you read your Bible yourself. And what tends to happen to people is life is hard, isn't it? And people are always constantly looking for something, because I mean, because I'm of the faith, I believe that that's something you're looking for is Christ, it's God. Yeah, and you're always going to feel like you're searching unless you go back to God. That's how it is. But for other people, it's just something is missing, and whatever sounds like it's what I need, they're going to gravitate to. And what happens to a lot of people is because they don't read their own book of faith, or they don't seek out that wisdom themselves, they listen to someone and then they end up following someone rather than actually going to seek it for themselves and figuring it out for themselves. And I feel like that's probably what's happened to a lot of people that have attended SPAC Nation. A lot of people that have gone to that church went with the intention of I'm seeking God, but then they've fallen into something else. But then they're just not spreading the real word from what I can see. Now, I've not been to a service. I don't know anyone that goes. I'm just basing it on what I've seen. Obviously, there's people that probably still go to that church that feel like they are actually learning the word. I shouldn't laugh at that or be smug about it. But
I was actually thinking, do you think we should challenge ourselves one day to go?
I will not be attending any SPAC Nation services. If you want to go, you do that and come back and tell me what you saw.
It has to be first hand. It has to be first
hand. As for me, I will not go. I will not be offended in Fendi. I will not be showing my drip. Anyway, moving on. So then, what do you want to unpick today?
The mains. Got my knife, got my fork, gonna tuck into the mains.
Damn.
Yeah. The main topic that we want to bring to the table today was the agenda with the new Calvin Klein ad featuring a pregnant trans man.
I saw that.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I feel like there's a lot to unpick there. But what were your thoughts, initial thoughts at least, with that advert?
I thought it's progressive. That's what I thought. I mean, it's a transgender man, so obviously that means that they were born as a woman, still have all their female organs, and that's why they're able to be pregnant. When I first saw it, I was a bit like, my mind had to, what's going on here? If that makes sense. Like I had to register it, and then I clocked, oh, okay, transgender man. Cool. Made sense. And I just thought, you know what? I can see why they did it, because in today's day and age, we're, walking down the street, in your workplace, in schools, you're going to see more and more people from the LGBTQ community, more transgender people, and so I thought, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. On TV, we're seeing it more now. On TV, like every show, there's always a token black person, a homosexual relationship. Somewhere in there might be a transgender person. Like we're seeing more and more of it, not just the typical straight cis man, straight cis woman. We're seeing everything else. So it makes sense that that's also being represented in adverts and stuff like that now. And I think it was a very, I don't want to say it's a bold move, because it's a very strange time that we live in, because it's not like back in the day where these things were taboo. And people really didn't want to see that on their TV screens, in their magazines, like anywhere. And it was very hush, hush, quiet. And the LGBTQ community, I know there's more letters in there, just to shorten it. I'm not trying to discriminate against anyone, but I'll just continue with LGBTQ community. I feel like they were definitely discriminated against way more than they are today. But having said that, in today's day and age, it is still an issue. They are still discriminated against. A lot of people are not comfortable and have a lot to say about it. So it's a very, I would call it like a transitional period that we're in this day and age. And I feel like, I know for sure that some people would have been outraged by the advert, and some people would have been like, it's about time.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. For me, I was definitely confused. Outrage could never be an emotion I'd express towards the LGBTQ
you're not that kind of guy.
Plus community. Because it's not my business, not my business kind of thing. But
I would definitely,
because it's an advert, I was like, what is the agenda? And the reason why that question popped into my mind is because I'm aware that some trans men, women who have transitioned to be men, who still have their womb, etc., then want to have themselves have their children with their partner, whether they're then gay or straight after transitioning. But I think in the back of my mind, randomly as well, there was a less popular, but there was another bit that hit the socials, which was this Indian doctor who managed to, I mean, I don't know how true it was, but it was presented as truth, who managed to transfer a womb from a woman into a man so that a man who transitioned could also have a baby.
Wow.
That's what they had said, but the
Who
level of
knows
truth,
if it's
I don't
true?
know.
Yeah, it might have just been one of them.
We'll see what comes in the following weeks. But yeah, I guess within the whole scope of all of these conversations, my only question and line of questioning is where's the like benefits, where's the pressure points, where the wins and losses per se of any of these things, if you know what I mean. Because there's always going to be people at both ends of the spectrum. Like, yeah, there's people who are just going to be outraged just because it's not something that they're used to and they don't want to see a woman who's transitioned to be a man still have a baby. It's confusing maybe to them. But
mind your business.
My I guess my confusion was it does a lot, but also highlights a lot at the same time.
Okay,
because in this advert, it's the trans man lying on the bed. I think he was lying down with a woman who I think in terms of the position, it is like this is his partner. And he has the baby in his belly, topless, wearing Calvin Klein briefs.
And she's obviously the woman and she's not the pregnant one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's still wearing a bra.
Yeah.
So then I guess the thing that it highlights to me is the way that women are discriminated on and the way that that's not really going to change. And this doesn't address that.
What do you mean?
So in terms of body image, the trans man obviously had his breast, reduced to not have, women's breasts.
Basically didn't have breasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
from
then
the belly
it was
up,
okay.
from the belly up, they're a man.
Yeah. But from that perspective, because this person is now presenting as a man, it's fine for them to show their nipples. They can have a belly and be pregnant, etc. But then the woman cannot. And literally, this thing was going around in my mind because I was like, you know what? For my next album cover, I might just take a picture of my nipple. And that's the album cover. And
you just want to show your nipple. That's what
no, free the nipple all day, every day.
Free the nipple.
But the reality is, and this is the part that I was like, oh my gosh, if I decided to identify as a woman for 1 second, that album cover is actually sexually explicit.
Yes.
And then if I decide the next day, then it's fine.
Well, I mean, you can show your bald head, and I guess that would be sexually explicit now.
That's it. No, if someone speaks, my bald head is free to do whatever it likes. You cannot speak on my bald head. Thank you. You had a problem, not me. Okay, so, but do you understand?
But since we can commit sexual harassment on your bald head, technically that means your bald head is now almost like a sexual body part or organ. So if you was to just present your bald head on an album cover, technically that should be considered as explicit content.
Nah, it's not.
That's my
that's
my
like
story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's just like putting the feminine form on a album cover and calling it sexual just because it's being sexualized.
Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah, but that's the point you're making. That's the point you're making. If my nipple was on the cover, on the thumbnail of this podcast, we'd have to label it as sexually explicit because it's my nipple.
But if your same nipple was on the cover of this podcast, and you also identified as a man, but you changed nothing about your physical appearance, now what is it?
It won't be. But that's my point. That's what I'm saying. That's
my point.
Yeah, but
my point is,
we are agreeing. But I'm just saying that you see your bald heads, yeah?
No, we're not agreeing about that.
Whether you see it as a sexual organ or not, because I don't see my boobie as a sexual organ. They're baby feeders.
Oh, wait. No, actually, you're not. No.
Because you know where I'm going. You know I'm making an argument. Don't try it. Don't try it.
They're not baby feeders. They're not frontal. It's not front. It's their breasts.
They're baby feeders.
That produce milk.
Yes, for babies.
That's what they are.
For babies. Yeah, so they're baby feeders.
Breasts
that produce milk for whom?
for babies.
Okay, so they're baby feeders.
Breasts.
That produce milk for whom?
No, it's because they're breast the whole time.
Yeah, but then the moment
When there's no child, when there's child,
but the moment
they
I
are always
conceive,
breast.
the moment I conceive,
They
milk
don't change.
produce.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But when you conceive, they don't change.
they get more volump. They get bigger because it's filling with.
They serve a different purpose, but they're the same thing.
They were given to us by the Lord to feed the babies. That's what they were given to us for. But men, because you lot want to sexualize the baby feeders, you lot have turned it into something else. Now for you, it's all for us as well.
Wow.
Yeah. You lot want to... Anyway, men are big babies anyway. Us heterosexual women, we know that already, so...
The thing is, I see pure heterosexual women feeding man the titties, so I don't.
Yeah, apparently there's this thing where men even like to drink the milk as well.
I would try some.
Yeah. Or like when, like when women don't feed, so like when they produce the milk and they don't feel it hurts, right?
Mhm.
Apparently the men can help them out by sucking the milk out.
Listen, I don't know what is in store for me and my beloved,
but you're going to be open to that, right?
I'll be open to all things.
And do you know what? I really like the fact that you're open to helping her, because that will be a great help to her.
Whatever
That's
she
how
says she needs,
you're there. I love that.
and it's there.
Supportive husband. You see that?
See it?
I rate it still. Yeah. But yeah, no. Do you know what? I didn't think of it that way, It's interesting that your mind went there, because I didn't even clock that. I didn't even think of it in that way. To be fair, none of them were inappropriately dressed or showing any like sexual, like any body parts in that way. So that's probably why it didn't spark that thought in me. And I mean, yeah, I guess as a somewhat feminist, it didn't really come to my mind that, right, is it okay because it's a trans man? I was more just thinking of, I get that they want to represent a demographic of the population that we will be seeing more and more of. And some people would argue it's inappropriate and they don't want children and stuff to be exposed to that, but children are exposed to it anyway.
Yeah, if they're in the real world, then I say the real world, but it's more so the West world. But yeah.
I mean, there's a Bob Risky and others alike in Africa. So if you've got social media, you're exposed to it, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's there, and let's not act like people don't walk on the street and see these things outside. They might get abused, because recently I saw it really broke my heart actually. I think it was in Nigeria. This transgender woman was walking along the street and they beat her up. Like, you're a man, why are you dressed as a woman? Type thing. And I thought, see, this is Africa for you. And I feel like it's strange. People might be thinking, but damn, you're a Christian. Why are you like almost like in support of it? I just see it as everybody should just mind their business and face their front. That's my tagline in life. Just face your front and mind your business. Like, everyone should do what they're comfortable with and what makes them happy. And we're not supposed to judge anyone anyway. Anything that I do, I'm not perfect. So who am I to look at somebody else's life and their decisions and be like, just because I'm straight? No, it doesn't work like that. You can be straight and be fornicating. And this is me preaching now. All you people that are not married and you're having sex, you're doing the doing do's. You're sinning, my friend. And it's just sin. And if you're looking at someone that is homosexual or bisexual or transgender or any other part of the LGBTQ plus community, and you are looking at them thinking that you are better than them, that they're not going to go to heaven because, they are doing something different to you because you're straight and you find the opposite sex attractive and therefore blah, blah, blah. If you are fornicating, if you're having sex before marriage, bruv, you are also going to hell. I said it. So you can't be looking at other people and be judging them and making, like, you can't do that. You can't do that. And I feel like heterosexual people, for the longest time, we have not had to think about things like growing up, I didn't have to think about whether or not I have to announce that I like boys. I just assumed all girls liked boys. I just assumed all boys liked girls. I've never had to like think about my sexuality in that way. I've never had to like even like, have you clocked that heterosexual people, like, we don't even make our sexuality our personality. We don't have to do that. We can just be. And until
to a degree, I think maybe more girls more than boys
can just be. I'm not talking about doing stuff that you're not supposed to do, like
no. Yeah, I mean in terms of like your personality. Like I think a lot more guys consciously choose certain behaviors just to appear straight.
No, I'm not talking about trying to prove that you are not part of the LGBTQ community. I'm talking about just growing up. When you was a child, you just assumed.
Oh, right.
Even when you were playing games, you're playing, I don't know, guys are playing Action Man or whatever. You just did that. You didn't think, oh, I can't play with Barbie. I can't say I want to wear a dress, because you didn't think that way. You just thought, I'm going to do whatever I like, because we've considered ourselves to be the norm. And till today, that's what's causing problems. That's why people are like, there's an agenda. It's because people who are heterosexual still think that they rule. They still see themselves as the norm. And it doesn't, there's no such thing as normal. That's what people need to get away from. All the way from down to, like, even all the way down to family, the family construct. There's no such thing as a normal family. It doesn't exist. It is what it's normal. Whatever is in your world is normal to you, but it's not, you can't call anything normal anymore. It doesn't exist. And it never has. And I kind of think it's unfair that me as a heterosexual cis woman have been able to go through life not having to think about, like, I can go out with my friends and I don't just automatically assume that my girls are on me. I just assume that all the girls are heterosexual like me. But imagine a world where that's not your reality and you know that you're not fitting into what has been told to you your whole life is the norm. And then you now have to make almost a statement about your sexuality. I don't have to make a statement about my sexuality. I like a guy, he likes me, boom. I don't have to, it doesn't have to be a thing. It doesn't have to be a point of contention in my life.
Yeah.
We've lived a privileged life is what I'm trying to say as a heterosexual
person. I hear you.
And so kind of like for me, I feel like it's time that we are open to and we become more open-minded as a society, and we see that you're not the norm. There's no such thing. And people should just respect each other and each other's choices and mind your business. If you are not homosexual, but your friend is, how does that affect you? And do not assume that because someone near you is homosexual that they're attracted to you. You might not even be their type. So why is it your problem?
That's an age old.
Do you know what I mean? Like, why is it our problem? Just because my girl is a lesbian or bisexual doesn't mean she's on me. I mean, she might be because I'm hot, yeah. But if it doesn't, I shouldn't assume straight off the bat, oh my God, she must like me. She must be on my tits. No. I might not be her spec. That would probably be the only reason why she's not attracted to me, because I'm not her spec. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
right.
But it is what it is.
One detail. Yeah. I mean, I guess the whole conversation of normal, not normal, and all that stuff is difficult, because it's hard when it's hard to tell people that how they've been living and what they know is not normal when
Remember,
it's literally all that they've known.
No, I know. Yeah, it's normal to you. I know. It's your norm.
But then that's what you're breaking down or asking people to break down, which is very difficult.
Fair enough.
And then there's also, which is, and this advert, I guess, to me is just as similar as the post BLM advertising with Black people, where it's way beyond the measure of the actual representation. Not this advert in particular, because I've never seen an advert with a pregnant trans man.
Yeah,
like this is a one of one.
Yeah.
I think just generally in media, there's like a overexposure of what is different, if you understand what I mean. Because there's loads. When you look at post BLM, loads and loads of black advert this, black advert that, mixed couple
Okay,
this,
I
mixed
feel like it's
couple
because they're
that, and
trying
I'm
to
like,
overcompensate. Like whenever I look on TV now and I see loads of adverts where
there's always a mixed
because you know what's
mixed
interesting?
family.
Do you know what's
I'm like,
interesting?
alright.
Do you know what's interesting? Because before I didn't care that I didn't see black people on adverts. I didn't care.
I only cared when I went to Nigeria.
When I went back home and I saw everyone look like me, I was like, oh, this is what it feels like to be the majority. I don't like calling it an agenda though, because it kind of reminds me of those people that say, oh yeah, you know, they're trying to brainwash the children, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, listen, when I was a child, I knew bare things my parents didn't know that I knew. Why? Because I grew up in a time where there was the internet. It might have been dial-up, it might have been Ask Jeeves, it might have been Yahoo, where, you know, you didn't get much. But if I wanted to find something, I would find it. I knew what sex was before my parents agreed that I could have the sex education class, because without showing my age, which I always say, but when I was young, your teachers could not give you a sex education class without your parents' consent. Don't know if they'd still do that today. Yeah, what? I had to take when I was in school, I had to take this brown envelope home, and in there was a letter to tell them, oh, we're getting to the sex education part of the curriculum. Do you consent to your children having that class? All the kids that didn't have consent to that, they didn't get the lesson.
I didn't get the lesson anyway.
They learned about the reproduction. I mean, you're older than me.
No. Trying to murk it, you know? Nah. The reason why I didn't get the lesson was because the teacher came in with the whole video. Remember the TV used to come on the stand?
Yeah, they used to wheel it in. They used to wheel it in with the lead.
They had the TV. They had the video. They said, all right, guys, today we're going to do the sex education thing. My class went mad. And then he just said, nah, lock off. You're not doing it. We're not doing it.
Why did they go mad? Was it exciting?
Because we were like on it. Yeah, we were like, we went mad. We went mad. And then the guy locked it. He said,
let me give you quick story time. Story time. So I was in it used to be like year 6, innit? So 6th grade.
No, mine was in secondary.
No, mine was year 6. Yeah.
That explains the letter.
Yeah. So they gave us letters. 6th grade, year 6 or whatever. Gave me a letter in a brown envelope. Didn't tell us what was in the envelope. They just gave it out to everyone. Give it to your parents. But you see me, yeah.
Wow.
So I didn't know.
Forging signatures.
I didn't know what was in the letter, but I overheard a teacher going, "Did you give out the sex education letters?" So I knew what was in the letter from there, innit? And I when I got to school, when I got home, I heard my mum and dad like, "Oh, I don't think we're comfortable with Dami learning about that." So I was like, "Mom, Dad, don't forget to sign the sex education letters for me to take back to school," because I had to let them know that I knew what was in that letter. Yes, Mom and Dad, you're hearing it here, live and direct. And my dad literally froze. Like, did she just say the S word? So like, Dami, what do you know about sex? And I was like, well, you know when a man and a woman are in bed and they're naked and they're kissing, yeah, that's sex.
At that point, was that your genuine truth?
That was my genuine truth.
Okay,
that was my genuine truth. I was very innocent. Okay, so I was like, you know, like on EastEnders when like so it's bare kissing and touching and stuff, and then yeah, that's sex. And mom was like, okay, so what happens next? I was like, yeah, that's sex. And they're like, okay. So my parents sat me down and they gave me the African sex education talk. Don't sit next to boys, you'll get pregnant. Don't talk to boys, you'll get pregnant. If a boy touches you, you'll get pregnant. That was the talk, okay? Don't do sex. Sex is bad. Period, right? But because I was like, made them aware that I knew the sex education class was coming, they signed the consent form for me to have the sex education class. And the childbirth videos put me off. And my teacher was an actual knobhead. Because in one of the it was a guy, and he got this like this pitcher of water with red dye. I found out when I was older it was meant to be blue dye that they're supposed to use. He put red dye in it, and he dropped the tampon in it that was like this skinny. When it came out, it was like this big, and I had a panic attack. I had a panic attack, and so they kept me behind I couldn't go out to playtime because I couldn't breathe. I was hyperventilating because he said that this is what goes up the woman's nunny when she's on her period, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's not me, bruv. Go where? I was like, go where? No. So they kept me behind, and then they had the teaching assistant like try and calm me down.
Mm.
And I was just like rocking, like, no. And I'm not gonna lie to you, till my late teens, because I was a late bloomer in terms of like doing stuff with guys, I didn't let guys touch me because of that tampon thing. I was like, nothing should go up there. I was shit scared because of that, you know. Mad, right? I mean, I'm over it now. But at the time, I was like, I was petrified because of that. I was like, no, there's no way. How does that come out? Like, there's no way that it's gonna, nah. But yeah, I had it in year 6. I had my sex education class in year 6. And even then, they didn't teach us about LGBTQ back then. It was everyone's straight, everyone's heterosexual. Everyone.
Do they teach it now?
I mean, I'd be interested to know. I mean, those of you that watch or listen that are parents, or if you've got siblings that are in that age bracket, end of year 6th grade or year 6, going into secondary school, like 7th grade or year 7 and up. Do you know if they teach about the LGBTQ plus community in sex education classes? Yeah. In secondary, because in secondary school, that's when we upgraded to, you know, putting a condom on a banana and all that stuff. But
listen, I literally did none of these lessons. I didn't. So
how did you learn where to put it? Actually, that's enough. Maybe we'll do that in Unpicked After Dark.
Unpicked After Dark with you. How Venom learned.
How did you know?
How
did you know where to put it? Like,
I do my origin story. I do my sex education origin story.
That is crazy. But yeah, like, After Dark. Yeah, I feel like I always think about our podcast actually, and we're both heterosexual cis people. And I always worry, like, we're not giving the LGBTQ plus perspective because we're not from that community. But I mean, I highly respect everyone and anyone from the LGBTQ plus community. I think everyone should have the right to be who they want to be, do what makes you happy. F everyone else, man. As long as you're genuinely happy, like, do what makes you happy. Because I am. Shoo.
Yeah. I think we're considerate, but I don't.
We're open-minded. We're not judgmental.
Yeah. I don't feel like I don't feel bad, should I say, because I don't have the same reservation for like the South Asian community or the East Asian community or like white people. Like, I don't feel like, oh man, like we're both black and like I don't feel like we give the white perspective.
The only reason, no. I mean, I always give the Asian perspective. I'm always like, it's not that different for us and brown people because we're all brown. And that's just that on that, really. That's that on that. But you know, I think the Calvin Klein ad, I did sit up when I saw it. I was like, oh, but then I had to quickly science, how is this working? Make it make sense. It made sense. And then I just thought, okay, cool. And I kept it moving. I know some people would have been outraged about it, but they just need to go and suck on a lemon, really, and get over it, because this is the world that we live in. And I feel like I'm one of those people that believes that people should be exposed to this so they could be open-minded. If you hide people from it and then they see it later on, they become those people that are very judgmental and like, oh, what's that? If you see it and it becomes your norm and you see it all the time, it won't faze you. And just because people see these things, and I'll say children, just because a child see these things doesn't mean that they're going to naturally become that. Because when I got to secondary school, there was definitely people who were homosexual and we all knew it. But I didn't turn out lesbian. In fact, I had a female friend, who made an advance at me when I was in secondary school. And she told me that she liked me and she fancied me and whatever. And I was just like, babes, I fancy so-and-so who's a boy. That was the end of the conversation. Didn't mean that I started thinking, she fancies me, maybe I should play with her too and see what happens. No. And I know I'm basing it on my thoughts and how I was as a child. I was quite strong-minded as a child. And it's not always like that. But again, like, I feel like when you're young, you're supposed to figure out who you are, and you don't know who you are if you don't know, if you're not open-minded. That's how I see it. Like, you have to be open-minded, and you have to just be like, cool, and whatever. It is what it is.
I do agree that if you are a certain way, then that thing being challenged shouldn't change who you are.
That's it. Simple.
And that's that on that.
And that's that on that.
Then,
Don't get me. I know some people are going to come out in the comments like, nah, but children are impressionable. Yes, we are. Children are impressionable. Absolutely right. But I also don't think that being part of the LGBTQ plus community is behavioural.
Yeah, I 100% don't believe it's behavioural.
It's not behavioural. It's just who you are. It's integral to who you are. And so for that reason, no matter how much someone tries to sway or plant something in a child's mind or whatever this stupid agenda that some people come up with, it's to me, I think it only works to an extent. Your child will be integrally they are who they are.
Yeah.
It's not a behavioural thing. It's definitely it's just your makeup. It's just who you are. And that is that on that. So yeah. But yeah, guys, let us know in the comments what you thought about the Calvin Klein advert. Keep it respectful, please. This one I'm going to say.
Yeah, please.
If I see anything, I'll just delete it. I'm not going to accept any discriminatory anything in the comments. So if that's how you feel, keep it to yourself. We are not accepting that here in this community. And that is that on that again. But yeah, just keep it respectful, please. Like, seriously. On this big internet. As normal, I'm going to say, if you want to get involved in the conversation, if you want to make a suggestion about what you might want Venom and I to talk about next time, please hit us up either in the comments or contact us in our DMs. Our socials will be on the screen. You can also see our email on the screen now as well. And it will be in the description, so you can get in touch with us. It's really important to us that you let us know what you want us to talk about, because we want to make sure that you guys enjoy the episodes. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so I'm going to always say that until people actually respond. And yeah, until next time, guys. Peace.